I'm Ian Rush and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's the Uncensored Match Build Up show ahead of Liverpool's journey down south to, I was going to say the Dell, but it's not anymore, is it? St Mary's?
Call it what you like.
Why not? Call it whatever. Yeah, to face Southampton, I have with me Chris Pajak, John Machin and Aubrey Reynolds to discuss this game. As ever, if you're watching this on YouTube, please do leave any of your thoughts or comments in the comment section underneath. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and give the video a like, yada yada yada. Anyway, let's get stuck in. Chris, first and foremost, Southampton, are they Liverpool's new bogey team?
I think so, yeah. They're the team that I've dreaded for weeks coming up to play, because I thought they were the best team that have come to Anfield this season. Like, yeah. I thought they were absolutely brilliant against us. We didn't really get a sniff in the game. They pressed us really, really well. They were just a really, really good side, well coached, good in defence, good in midfield, good in attack. I mean, they're a good side. Like, and I think they've fallen foul of a small squad at the moment, and I think that's why the results have kind of tailed off. But I think they've had us in their pocket, and our players, that'll probably be in the back of our players' minds. Yeah,
without a doubt. I mean, that the game there last season was when that was a real wake-up call for our season, really, wasn't it? Because it was when things were starting to look up, and you started to feel the positivity about where we were going, and then we went there and just got totally.
Martin Scale was centre back, wasn't he?
We just got, well, I remember not needing Lucas Leiva and then actually needing Lucas Leiva. Like,
yeah. I mean, we didn't play very well that day, and they did. Just as at Anfield as well, like this year they played very well, and it was much earlier, quite early in the season. We weren't really playing particularly well in any way, were we? We were only playing for 45 minutes a game at that stage of the season, weren't we? So we're better now. But I noticed in the stats that their home form is more or less akin to our away form. So we're probably perfectly matched for this game, so it's going to be really close.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it depends on whether or not we can cope with how high they play up the pitch, how high they press, which is what they've done to us in the last two games, haven't they? They've sort of out-tacticked us, and it's whether or not Rodgers has some kind of a plan to get us out beyond their...
It's worrying with the way our defence has been playing at the moment, though, isn't it?
Well, except it might sort of galvanise them a bit, the fact that everything's right in front of them. I think half the trouble the other day was that there was so much space in front of our, two centre-backs and Gerrard, and then there was a great big gap where all the Swansea midfield players camped out and had parties and things
Team
like
parties.
that. Yeah. And I think if we don't have that because everyone is pressed right up, then it's a question of how well we get the ball forward. Yeah,
we've talked already. We talked last week. We was about 12 cup finals and what have you, Aubrey. As someone pointed out, that we probably made a mistake by referring to them as cup finals because Liverpool's cup finals are always
end in penalty shootouts.
Racking affairs. But this is another great example. Look, we've got a twat of a month in prospect coming up, and this is there are no. You say there's no easy games in the Premier League, but as I say, Liverpool, I've struggled against Southampton in the last year or so, particularly under Brendan Rodgers. We've got to be able to go there and get something out of this game.
Definitely, I echo Chris. This is the one that I've been really not looking forward to. This is the game I remember last year breaking my heart. Joe going there, because I think we did have a really good run. Coutinho and Sturridge had come in. I think I said something on the show. I think I did the build-up for the pre-game build-up for it last year. And I was like, we'll go there, we'll win, and we'll win the next 12 matches, get in the Champions League. And then it just all the positivity. I was on a train watching it on a train on a dodgy stream, and it just broke my heart how bad we were that day. And they were even better at Anfield this year. They out-us that day. They played the way we should be playing, but better. Schneiderlin and Wanyama were amazing against us. They were just so good in that centre mid. The scary thing is that Lallana and Rodriguez have only got better as the season's progressed. They weren't in a run of form when they played against us. So that's all like the negative part of it. The positive part is we're better as well. Yeah. And they've got a few injuries. I think Wanyama's out still, isn't he? So they're not particularly settled.
Wanyama out? Doesn't look like it on here. Huveld, eye injury, no return date. Is that it?
Yeah, one injury as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
So Dave sources. Although someone did tell us to sack our research guy last week, like, but then, it's not like we ever really do that much research in all fairness. Like, I think what's going to play into our hands there is what Kiss was saying. We've got both two very small squads. I think comparatively, but I think although our squad is small, I think it's more talented, particularly in the final third. I like Lambert. I think Lambert's a very good player, but I still think, and we've said this time and time again, it's what's dragged us to where we are in the league is that Suarez, Sturridge, Coutinho, Sterling, Gerrard, Henderson, when they're on form and they're playing the best of their ability, they're irresistible. There's no team in the land that can stop them. The problem is because we are shit, generally speaking, away from home, and we concede loads of goals in general. So there are problems there, but you would expect nothing less than Liverpool just to go there and go for it.
Yeah, that's Brendan Rodgers' way of playing football, isn't it? He clearly attacks the first half of games, wants to get them on the back foot, wants to get us in our gear, and wants to scoring goals and killing teams off. That's the way he plays football. That's what he believes in, and that's what we're going to need to do to beat Southampton.
Defo, right, okay, it's trivia question time. I know this is what you look forward to every week. So once again, as normal, go and wind the kettle on, give the video a pause, get yourself comfy. Go and get some fat litter, as Chris said. Get yourself nice and settled. Are we sitting comfortably? Liverpool famously landed Welsh international Paul Jones, who's in the top 5 Liverpool goalkeepers of all time, on loan from Saints in 2004 during a goalkeeping injury crisis. But in the Premier League era, of players who have played over 100 times for their respective clubs, how many England caps do the two clubs have between them, and can you name the keepers in question? What? Right, I'm gonna read that again and maybe it'll all become clear.
It won't. We've all read it and no one can understand it. We're waiting for you to tell us what the question is.
I'm going to ignore the Paul Jones bit because I'm not sure that's relevant.
It's not.
Of players who have in the Premier League era, of players who have played over 100 times for their respective clubs, how many England caps do the two clubs have between them, and can you name the keepers in question? What the fuck?
You know when you make these questions,
that mean the answer's
like
keepers?
part A and part
Is
B?
it just keepers then? So David James.
It doesn't say keepers, just keepers ever in the question.
Well,
It might allude to it, Dave, but it doesnn't say it.
No. It's all about keepers. It starts off with Paul Jones.
Yeah, but you always throw us a bit of biff at the beginning, so that's irrelevant.
So that's a misdirection. Yeah. So just Dave, just
summarise.
So out of goalkeepers that have played for Southampton and Liverpool in the Premier League, who have got over 100 caps either for Southampton or Liverpool.
Caps for the club?
Yeah.
No, for England.
No, whoa. I've played over fucking hell.
You've got to have played a goalkeeper who's got 100 caps.
Hang on. Go and get the kettle on again.
The only time he played for the club, but how many caps between the two? Between the number.
So, right, I've got it. So, for example, so the basic minimum criteria to be entered into this count is that you must have played at least 100 times for either Liverpool or Southampton.
Okay.
Yeah. And then.
And also obviously
being England international.
And a goalkeeper.
And a goalkeeper.
None of that was in the question. No, when there's like 3 stipulations for the answer and none of it's in the question.
It is.
No, it's not.
Okay, right. I'll tell you what. The question. The
How many
challenge.
times have Liverpool played at St Mary's? Trivia question.
No. I've got it. I'm going to read the question one more time. Right. Liverpool famously landed Welsh international Paul Jones on loan from the Saints in 2004 during a goalkeeping injury crisis. But in the Premier League era, of players who've played over 100 times for their respective clubs, how many England caps do the two clubs have between them? And can you name the keepers in question? Right. I want you to write that question in a more succinct and easy to understand manner in the comment section underneath. And that's what I'm asked. That's all you've got to do this week. Rephrase that question so it makes sense.
You just need the word goalkeepers in the next to last.
And English goalkeepers.
You've
got to be English to play for England.
I know that's logical, but it's already a question, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, well, answer at the end of the show. No, right. I think we need to go get a cup of tea. I think I'm flagging after that. Okay,
I'm
question.
really looking forward to the answer.
I know, I am definitely. Stay tuned right at the end of the show for the answer. Okay, I've got a question for you, Chris.
Oh, Christ.
What the fuck is Victor Moses? What does he bring to Liverpool Football Club?
He's a seat warmer, isn't he?
He's and nothing more.
He's shit, is what he is.
I really want him to prove me wrong. I'm desperate for him to prove me wrong. I hate writing. Look, we like to speak in bold terms in football, as football fans and social media and what have you. It's dead easy. It's dead good to have a nice scapegoat and all that. But everybody seems to be proving themselves when they get the opportunity, even in some way, shape or form. For him, he's just a massive disappointment.
He's literally on the field, so kids in the stand go, look, if he can be a professional footballer, so can you.
Yeah, Victor Moses leading by example of how not to do things. I think it's a good suggestion. I mean, when he came on last week, what did he offer? He just looked like he had no idea how the team played. He looked like I had no idea what his position was meant to be. He made a run, like you make runs in five-a-side because you just can. but because there's no tactical system in place in kickabouts and five-a-side. In Liverpool, every run and every movement off the ball is calculated, it's planned, it's prepared. He looked like he was just playing a free spirit role because he made this run into the middle.
He was going for the tunnel.
You know,
he's used to going straight down the fucking tunnel.
He made this run in the middle, and I think it was like Suarez turned around to him and was like, "What are you doing there? Get back!" And I think it was Gerrard. I was like, "No, no, Victor, that's not what you're meant to be. Get back out wide." And it just, I don't get it.
Fucking don't ask me. I don't actually know why we've got him on loan. I mean, I can't see the point in it.
No.
If he was going to play week in, week out, and contribute, and make up for us not buying that sort of attacking midfield player in the summer, then fine. But I just don't see any of it.
No,
I got it. I've genuinely got it. Right, we were talking earlier about Suarez and Sturridge embarrassing the defence and giving them nightmares. That's what he's there for.
Yeah.
So that they can come to work in the morning and go, "Oh, we're still good defenders. We can tackle Victor Moses."
Louis Alberto's there.
Also, Louis Alberto. And there was a point. In case you missed this, we made a point earlier that basically Liverpool's defence is shit because all they do is turn up to work to get abused by Suarez and Sturridge in training, but for skills, not like sexually or anything. So, because the reason Victor Moses is there is basically just to give them a little bit of a confidence boost. And he's only on loan, you've not paid for him, maybe that's it. It seems bonkers to me, because again, we've just sent Jordan
and Sissoko up, using the same logic, is there to give Moses and anyone else who wants to play on the wing a bit of a boost.
No, you know what he's there to do? To make Jose Enrique look better.
Yeah.
In our memories, Jose Enrique is now a left back on a par with a Paolo Maldini or a Vicente Lizardazu or Philip Lahm.
Jose Enrique can play centre mid now, man.
And some people are in for the shock of their lives when Jose Enrique comes back in and starts just turning in circles 3/4 of the way up
the wrong way, he turns left.
Yeah, he's like Zoolander. He can only turn in one direction, yeah. But
he's never made it around more than one junction on a roundabout. He turns off the first one.
Yeah. Andrew's on a postcard though.
He's just got lost.
Andrew's on a postcard. What does Victor Moses bring? Look, let me qualify this once again. I really wanted to come on and score a goal and change everyone's opinion. Before the Swansea game, they had the Liberty Stadium game on. And when he scored, was it his debut actually? Yeah. Scores on his debut, decent goal as well, and we all thought, excellent, another piece to the puzzle, this is what we're looking for. And he's just not.
I have to say that he did show glimpses early on, and I think again he's another one of these people who suffer for the fact that he's not playing. He's obviously not someone who can just come on for 10 minutes every month and do well.
Yeah. Well, maybe we ruined him by putting him in the 10 for those games when Coutinho was injured or something. It just didn't work, and we had to hit the back, and maybe it's ruined his confidence. And as you say, you've got to play to get confidence. But the minute, you know, you just look at. I mean, looking ahead to Southampton, Joe Allen's in contention for a place for me, because of the performance he put in against Swansea. He did nothing wrong. He did everything he could possibly do in that game, I think, to put himself in contention for
I
the
think
weekend.
he changed the flow of the game, to be honest. At the time, we were really conceding possession, and Joe Allen came on and really changed the game.
Victor Moses changed the flow of the game as well.
Yeah.
Just not in our favour. So no, look, but this is the point. When you get those limited opportunities, I think you can't expect to come in and be at the peak of your powers and what have you. But you've got to come in and have a go. And what annoyed me was when we scored the fourth. We scored the fourth, and Victor Moses, is that when Victor Moses is waiting to come on?
Yeah.
And he's there, and he just kind of goes. Whereas everyone else is on the bench jumping up and down and going mental, and it just seems to me like he just hasn't fitted in or whatever. I'm open to suggestions what the deal is like.
I know exactly what you're saying, because he was really, really good at Wigan. You know, the season before Chelsea bought him, and he was getting consistent game time every time. But you look at Zhao, who came on against Fulham, and I, you know, the other day, they actually gave something. Even if they weren't amazing, they weren't great. They came on and they did something in that match that was a positive contribution to the match. He comes on there and you go, well, why has he been brought on? Because he's not doing it for us.
Answers on those. What is Victor Moses? What is the point?
If you go back to the point about Joe Allen, I mean, I now consider Joe Allen as like proper first team squad, not just a squad player, but one of the first
He's an
team.
option, isn't he?
Yeah,
A proper option.
You know, if you played on whenever against Southampton, I would think, okay, it's fine. You know, but if you start on Moses, I think, oh, hang on, why has he done that?
Yeah.
You know.
No, you're right. And I think we've got such a limited squad. And we're looking at our substitutes bench and going, oh, fucking hell, what have we got on the benches to change things? It's up to those players to do what Joe Allen's there, to play themselves into usefulness for Liverpool Football Club, because at the minute they're all dead, the vast majority of them are dead weight. You're not looking at, when you think Liverpool are chasing the game, we need to change something, you're not thinking Victor Moses, Iago Aspas or Luis Alberto are going to come on and make any positive impact on the team.
He only came on for like 9 minutes last week and had 9 good minutes, and I'd actually would like to see him again. You know, whereas Alberto and Aspas, I can't say, oh yeah, they've really.
I've got no problem with either of those players, and maybe I'm being a touch harsh probably for the sake of comedic value. But with Luis Alberto, I see a bit of a player in there, but I do wonder sometimes that maybe, I mean, that way historically we'll find the best in even some of the worst Liverpool players of all time, and I do wonder sometimes whether I am doing that with Alberto. Am I seeing a better player there than there actually is?
He looks to me like a good footballer. Whether he's got the pace and he can consistently perform at this top level, I don't know. But what I'm saying is that Teixeira came on and in 9 minutes he impressed. But I can't say Alberto's done that, and he's had a lot more time on the pitch.
There'll be people, I mean, again, people watching, I know we mentioned this on Alberto the week compared to Teixeira, and a few people point out, I think he's got an assist or something like that.
Tottenham, he looked alright, didn't he?
So that's fair play. I mean, I'm not conclusively writing anyone off, but what we're saying is, Joe Allen has to be the benchmark for substitutions, and that performance against Swansea, everybody needs to measure themselves by that yardstick.
But again, the other point is that if you're not getting games, it must be really difficult. I mean, in Alberto, he's not seen as an understudy to anyone. You know, he doesn't come into the side automatically if, say, Coutinho's.
We changed the system before we put Alberto in
and that strikes me as they don't actually know where to play him, and therefore he's got less and less chance of actually getting on the pitch.
Yeah, I think that's actually.
But it's strange that we've let Ibe go out on loan, isn't it? Because he is a direct replacement for a player that we've got on the pitch. And who needs to come off at times, as in the weekend.
He's actually a direct replacement for Victor Moses on the bench.
No, he is.
But the thing about Ibe is that he's now going to get the games that him and everyone else are not getting. So hopefully he'll be a much better player.
Well, you just got to look at the success he's had at Sunderland, and obviously he's injured, isn't he, at Saidi, but he's had a decent return for Stoke, and you can see all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, players, I'd have all of those. I'd have both of them in our squad next season.
That's one of the big things on Twitter at the moment, isn't it? You know, why have we got Aspas and Alberto and Moses when we could have a Saidi, Barini, you know?
But I said the point we made, I mean, it's something we'll definitely analyse more as the season gets toward the end of the season. But to me, it just looks like, at the minute, it looks like Aspas and Alberto, and that. and Moses are literally, we've got them in to sit in wait and just fill the squad spaces of Barini, Saidi and Suso, for the sake of argument, while they go out, get some game time and keep them ticking over. And then they get further
down the squad, don't they? And then they're not
but I think, you know, if, like I say, we've got European football next season, we're going to need a squad to compete. And I think you've got those three players, but I mean, maybe not Saidi, maybe he'll never be a Liverpool player, but they've all got the potential to come back in and be squad players with a good season's work under the belt, and then you decide.
You don't have to buy 7 players in the summer. You can get away with buying 3.
That's exactly it. They're all players there. They're earning the value, aren't they? Because they're the kind of players who, if they get a decent goal return and assist returns on those loans, they're the kind of players you'd probably go and spend the money on to fill your squad out anyway. But you're already. I
actually disagree with you on Saidi. The way he's been playing this season, I would have him in the squad, because I think he's a player that could change a game when you need somebody to. It's very difficult, isn't it, to do what Solskjaer did for Man United for a decade and change games when you come on what Hernandez is doing now. I don't think we've really had anyone since Rosenthal who could do that.
That's a good shout. But no, let us know your thoughts on all that. I know we've sidetracked big time from Southampton, but fuck it, why not? We've got the time and the space, let's go for it. Form guide-wise, we're the form side in the Premier League. How's that happened?
We're the best.
That means
best
we win.
In the world.
That means we win football.
We're Everton. Go on, just for shits and giggles.
You tell me.
50, you fucking bitter bastards.
No hint of irony whatsoever. Yeah, so on the 8th in the form table, we're top for now, so long may that continue. How should Liverpool line up Aubrey? Should we make any changes from the from last weekend?
We've got very limited options, haven't we? I think the only one, it's kind of putting on repeat what we've said, but the only person who I think is pushing to change that set 11 is Alan. I personally would put Alan in for Coutinho, but I don't think he will.
Okay, we were talking before, weren't you, about, is this the game for Suarez? Do you rest Suarez? Can you afford to rest Suarez?
No.
Never
Ever.
Suarez.
Ever.
He wouldn't let it.
He would fight.
Yeah.
Stiaki said, we're not dropping points at home. When it was 3-0, he went, I'm just going to go and batter as many FA people as possible to get them to change it to a 4-3 win, even if we don't win. That is a Suarez
and
mentality.
Mike Atkinson said if Henderson scored that trick, he'd have had to go upstairs for a wank.
Yeah. and that's it.
Level-headed brothers then too.
But that's it. Suarez is that attitude, isn't he? I don't think he would. He'd see the team sheet and say he's interested, and he wouldn't. He'd just be standing on
It's like that story from, a true story about this guy, I can't remember his name, who used to haunt all the Sunday League teams because he was such a nightmare to play against. He was an absolute bastard who would kick you and punch you, and just people hated playing against him. And this team were playing him, and they said met one of them outside and said, oh, he's not playing. We decided to drop him. And they were all going, oh, brilliant, we don't have to play him. And they went out to kick off, and there he was playing. And they said to him afterwards, I thought you said he wasn't going to play. He said, well, he wasn't picked, but no one would tell it.
Who's telling Suarez that you're dropped?
Suarez, yeah. Just don't have a shirt, don't hang a shirt. I bet he'd run out to the shop and buy one. Get it printed. Yeah, definitely.
Just crossed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aspas.
Just rip the S off the A, go get a U off somebody else.
Fuck that, just mark a pen. No, we're doing Aspas's blood on the back of the white shirt, like, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
I'd change the centre-backs. That's so-called John Flanagan.
Fucking, can't be any worse, can it?
Well, no, so-called right, John Flanagan on the left.
We're thinking of a more bonkers solution to Liverpool's defensive frailties.
Re-sign Zach Whitbread.
Yeah.
Moses right back.
Zach Whitbread, the man this could have been.
I could have been Zach Whitbread, literally.
Could have been. There's a story behind it. If you don't know, it's an old. How many you don't know? Chris's mum was married to Zach Whitbread's dad. Fact. There must be loads of people who are like 15, 16 going, who's that Whitbread? Isn't he some shit centre half playing like League One Championship centre half?
My mum was a wag. It was Barry Whitbread. He's a long time scout at Liverpool, played for us.
Yeah, she still is. She's still a wife, isn't she?
Yeah.
She could be American as well then.
Half.
There you go. See, this is why people really
How
watch
many
this
caps
show.
would you have had for England and what keeper are you?
Hang on, that question was too succinct. I knew the answer.
Right. Okay. I think the centre backs is a major issue, isn't it? Because clearly, I think Daniel Agger got pulled because he had a pretty poor game at the weekend. Look, I know that we love Daniel Agger, Brigade will be out in force.
Can I just fuel that fire? It was freezing cold at the weekend, wasn't it? He took his shirt off and pulled a little guy over who sits by the bench. Took his shirt off, give it to him, and then walked inside with no coat on, like.
Agger?
Yeah.
You know? I like Daniel Agger. I like how much he loves Liverpool, but I think at the minute, him and Skirtle, I'm just not convinced by him and Skirtle as a partnership. Now, I'm not saying I'm convinced by Torre and Skirtle by any stretch, but...
Agger, I mean, it may well be that he just needs to get game time on the pitch, and therefore you're going to have to persevere with until it gets sorted.
I think the only man I would want to bring in, and he's clear, I don't think he's fit, I don't think he's likely to be fit. Yeah, Sakho's the only one who would walk back into that defence for me at the minute.
They're a different proposition though, aren't they? Because they're more about movement and pace with Lallana, Rodriguez, Lambert. I know Lambert has got a bit of physicality, but he's not as physical as Boney is. So I don't know, possibly it'd suit a Skirtle-Agger partnership more than a Skirtle-Torre partnership. But I don't know. Again, it's a conundrum, isn't it? Because they're all good. There's reasons for all of them to be
Or
dropped.
would you leave the full-backs where they are or switch them back over?
I think Glenn Johnson's a better left back.
Yeah, same here. But I'd play 4-3-3 against them. I'd put Alan Henderson in the midfield with Gerrard, and I'd put Sterling on the left, Suarez on the right, and Sturridge up front.
Okay, interesting shout. If you've got any alternatives to that, if you agree or disagree, let us know in the comments section underneath. Quickly then, score predictions, Aubrey, please.
I'm going to go with 2-1 to us.
Okay, Dan.
Me too, 2-1.
3-2 to us.
Well, I can't bring myself to be the same as you.
1-0, because it doesn't matter how you win as long as you win.
A spawny. This is one of those games where I want a really spawny 1-0. Just insert the clip from last week on that.
5-0. Let us know your score predictions in the comments section underneath as well as any thoughts on any of the issues we've discussed this week. Trivia answer time.
Can we have the question again?
Liverpool famously landed Welsh international Paul Jones on loan from the States in 2004 during his goalkeeping injury crisis. But in the Premier League era, players who've played over 100 times in their respective clubs, how many England caps do the two clubs have between them? Can you name the keepers in question?
You're going to have to subtitle that.
It should have been goalkeepers who played on
That's fucking hell.
David James, one of them, is he?
What?
What? That's not the question, it's how many caps?
How many caps?
Well, you said name the keeper.
You've got to name the keepers.
Yeah,
And you've got to name the keepers as well.
Oh, fucking hell.
I'm sure the tenuous link starts with a Welsh keeper as well.
Yeah.
Good question.
A Welsh keeper who played for Liverpool.
Right, so then it's
So go on.
What about, you could have Bruce Grobbelaar?
Premier League era, wasn't it?
Premier League era, that's where...
No,
Bruce Grobbelaar plays for both in the Premier League era. If you're going to have a random fucking link between the two, you could have picked one of Liverpool's most celebrated
Considering
goalkeepers of all time.
there's not much of a link, he could have said, Dave likes rich tea biscuits. Name how many caps England keepers have had for Southampton and Liverpool.
Right, okay, you know what, Dave? Do you know it off the top of your head?
66.
66 is the total number of England caps between goalkeepers who can play more than 100 games through the Southampton and Liverpool
In the Premier
combined,
League era.
in the Premier League era combined.
Who were
Under
they?
the age of 30, but above 22.
Tim Flowers,
Yeah, I knew that one. Got him.
Dave Bessons,
I knew it was Dave. I couldn't remember his surname.
and David James.
James, there you go. If you got that right, you're like Rain Man, basically, for footballing knowledge. Anyway, thanks very much. We're going to wrap it up there. If you want to watch more Redmen TV goodness, please do go to the redmentv.com for the exclusive shows every week. Like this, only longer and more of it, and more random subjects, as you'd imagine. It's free for a month. what else are you going to do? Go and check it out. And then it's just £2 a month after that if you want to continue with it. If you don't, you can cancel it. Get on with your lives. Just thanks very much for joining us. Looking forward to the game at the weekend. Thank you very much for subscribing. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, yada yada yada, and we'll see you on the rest of the shows this week. Ta-ra.